Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy P Funk, thinking right out here in the lab, rocking my Yankees gear, doing what I do for you. I got a nice quick lesson for you today, so let's get to it. Cause I got some things to do. I know you do too. So, rightism, 25 rules to live by, storytelling, story with a message. There's a message in the story for life. I give you life lessons. You tune in and receive them. I hope they're working out for you. I appreciate your views and your subscriptions. Let's do what we do. Right thinking, mission, and that's what I'm on, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking way of life through mental and spiritual discipline daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. That's my mission, that all my right thinkers do just that. So I do what I got to do to make that happen for you. Tune in, pay attention, and that's just what we do. Get you to know you. Let's go. Excuse me. I asked the question, do you know you? It's rhetorical. And if you don't have the answer for yourself, tune in. I can help you with that too. That's what I do for you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple. You teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. I appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows but knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm spiritual laws. I'm here to wake you up with knowledge of self. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers know that self. And to my yacht, be true. Now, I just left out of the mysticism. Now we're going to Spiritism, aka Spiritualism. Quick lesson. This is going to be good. This is where we're going to have some different viewpoints, but let's see if I can make this work for you. The lesson. Spiritualism, often called Spiritism, often called Spiritualism, was known to what? Every ancient people. Every society people understood spiritualism or had a concept. Watch this. It is the mark of decadence of a people. It was condemned what amongst the ancient Hindus and other Asiatic races, meaning the Hindus and uh, Indians, Asiatics, they didn't subscribe to it. Okay, but many tribes of what American Indians have other mediums, watch this, through whom they get what? Materializations and sometimes try to communicate with who? Their departed. Right there, I got a problem. I go into daily prayer and I got a thing I call ancestor worship, whereas I call the names of my relatives who I physically know, call them by memory, however I feel, whatever name comes up. I'm not randomly picking gods and just calling. No, I got ancestors who I call on, who I know. So in my mind, they're still there. I know them to be remembered in my mind. That's how they live on, and that's what I'm talking about. If any one of them talk back to me, I'm having a problem. I'm just saying. So I'm not talking to people that have to know. No, I'm calling them to memory, worshiping them, giving them life. Why? In me, they still living. That's what ancestor worship is all about. So that's just my concept. But let's talk about it. I don't subscribe to that one. What's this? Now, spiritualism is in one sense what? The opposite of nature worship. Nature mystics do what? Worship growing, living nature. Nature, okay? But Spiritism worships what? The dead and has little or nothing to do with living nature. They had this show on a few years ago where my man would talk to the dead people. The whole time it's a scam. But when you're messing with people's psyche, you're messing with people's emotion, you get them riled up, and they sometimes we don't get too smart. So if anybody, and understand, I don't care who you are, anybody said somebody who did came and talked to them, just nod and say, okay, don't argue. Why? In his mind, that's what he probably believed. That's right. We are entitled to believe what we want, but you don't have to impose on somebody else. That's what I'm trying to show you. So whatever it is you're doing, if it's working for you, fine. If not, still fine. But it's yours to do what you want with it. But how you go right there? Spiritism. Watch this. As a movement appeared when in America around the 19th century. Okay, it ain't been around long, but that concept, but it's always been around. Again, we know that. Watch this. When happened? When science was what making headway with what? Its materialistic theories of what? Evolution. Okay. A particular lesson spiritualism teaches is like what? Death does not end all. Right here. I agree right with that. Because why? I got the afterlife concept from our ancient Egyptian philosophical concepts of the afterlife. Even modern people say, well, it's got to be so. Yeah, they had an idea. Maybe they didn't know, whatever, but I can see he didn't. But he said they knew death to the physical body wasn't the end. So they knew the spirit and body didn't die. So let's move on. Write this. Now that death wasn't the end all, that there is what? A survival of something after the death of the body. Yeah, we call it the afterlife, judgment day. If you pass the scales of Maya, your spirit passed on. If not, it failed. Your conscience got eaten by a minute. Why? Because now you about to get a new one. That's why. The spirit conscious don't go nowhere. Your conscious is the one that get eaten. So the memory of you is wiped away. That's the concept. So we had that afterlife viewpoint. And ain't never one of them who went came back and told us what it's like. We can theorize, conceptualize all we want. How about this? Was nobody there when it started? So if nobody was there when it started, who gonna be on the other side to tell you anything? So it's a crapshoot, so to speak. Take your pick. You have a choice. So watch this. Now this fact was what? Denied by some. Yeah. Again, you got the right to believe what you want, but watch this. But as a fact, it has what? Overcome all objections to the contrary theories. Why? Spiritualism, by offering what? Social intercourse between the living and the dead, endured itself to what? To many of those who what? Suffered from what? The loss of relatives and friends. The desire to keep whatever, keep them in prayer, keep them in what you're doing. They physically, it ain't happening. The body to earth, spirit to heaven. Unless it don't make it, it's going to reincarnate it. He gonna call it return or readmentus, okay, re-existence, whatever. And that's the same concept, but we call it reincarnation. Watch this. And because you love Lord, you so desperate to want to be in contact with him. I don't want to talk to my dad. He dead. Nah, I can talk to him. I'm doing the talking. If he start talking back, we're gonna have some issues. So don't get caught up in that. I don't care who you are, what it is. I love me some dad. That don't mean jack where he at now and where I am now. That cord between living and dying has been severed. Yeah, he's there. I'm still here. I can keep him in memory, and nothing he can do from his side. So don't get caught up in, oh, I want to talk to my dead uncle. Be my guest. Your dead uncle ain't gonna talk back. That's the problem. Okay, moving on. I just want to get that out. I saw that show, faking the people out, spending all their money like nonsense. Again, scam people will play on your emotions and your ignorance. Again, not yourself, you wouldn't fall for that nonsense. Okay, let's go. Now, in many cases, strengthening what? Their faith in what? A future life. Afterlife. Only future life you get is if you get reincarnated. The spirit gonna go on, but you ain't happening. Okay? But watch this. Notwithstanding the lesson it has taught, it has done what? A great deal of harm. Why? Because you got people believing something that ain't there. It's called a lie, superstitions, folklore, whatever. Okay, a dream, however you want to call it. Moving on. I'm gonna wrap this up. I gotta get done. The harm comes from when? from an opening. Watch this. The harm of that comes from when between the relationship between the what? The world of the living and the evil or earthbound creatures of what? The astrophysical plane. Again, that's you playing tricks with yourself. Any spirit that was here, encased in the body, no matter how much you loved it, worked it, whatever, when that physical body died, spirit is leaving. It got one or two things it's going to do: reincarnate or go back to the maker. It tells you spirit, body to earth, of course, critical physical form is going to go back to the earth. Chemicals, where they come from. But the spirit ain't from the earth, it's from somewhere else. So it gonna leave the body, and if it's enlightened, if you know yourself, you got your heart and mind to coherence together and became one with your higher self, oh, you going home. If not, do over. And that physical plane, that adds up, that's the mental concept. Either it's gonna be hellish treatment or it's gonna be bliss. Moving on. Some watch this. Now, some of the communications received from what? The other side. Watch this. Have been what? Lucid. Lucid means understanding and clear. But watch this. And even of benefit. Really? But watch this. But they are few and meager as compared to what? Watch this. The mass of what? Useless, vapid, useless information and nonsensical trash of the what? Seance room. If you gonna sit around and try to have a seance, don't invite me. Simple as that. How about that? I ain't got to play that game. I'm moving on to that. When I do that, that means I don't want to talk about it because it's not gonna be good. If you ain't got nothing sometime, we ain't got nothing good to say, you say nothing. Put my hand to my mouth. Why? Because no information of substantial value as to what the nature of the true and self, which is you, watch this, what the light of intelligence is, or the purpose of life where on earth has been given by what? The so-called spirits of the dead. Again, dead man tell no tales. Dead is dead. Dead means absent of spirit. The body without spirit is dead. The body means nothing when the spirit leaves. At death, they keep the heart in the body. Take all the other vital orders out. They keep the intestines, the lungs, and a couple other pieces. But what they don't care and do nothing with is your brain, your conscience. Why? Without the connection to the heart, it has no use. Hence, that's what never lives again. That's what dies. Your conscience, you as an individual. Why? You didn't do your job to come up with your heart and know yourself, your true self, which is the three, the conscious, again, Amen, Ra, Pata. Again, let me wrap this up because really that concept, I would want to get that in because I don't subscribe to that. That's all. I'll let you know where I stand. No problem at all. Quick lesson. As a Mason, I hated the fact that we had hidden dollars. If it's two guys there, a room full of us, you got that guy? Raise your damn hand. Let it be known who you with. Okay, that's why he say, who you with? If I'm with you, they gonna know why. I'm letting them know I'm with you. If I'm not, I am with you. So I don't do that. But I hate that little quiet because they another experience, but I don't like that. Let it be known where you stand. That's what I'm saying. Be it right or wrong. My man who I was with, when he lost, the other guy who won gonna tell me, no, young boy, you just picked the wrong team. No, I didn't. They just picked the wrong team. I think you the wrong guy. But yeah, you really got to understand if you rolling with me, it's the reason why you rolling with me. Roll with me. Don't roll with me for your own attention. No, that's what I'm saying. We got a lot of that going on. Let me wrap this up. But watch this. The dead, the evil results of spiritism come in what? Making of the medium as an automation, which is what? Possessed sometimes by what? Externals, the low, degrading influence, aka nature or negative spirits or desires gods of what the dead, and brings which are mixtures of what these two, which is causing the idol erroneous to run after the medium for what materialism and test. Oh, I want to talk to my grandfather. Can you bring it? Ignorance. And watch this. And lowering what your moral tone of the person who you believe, the person who's obsessed. When they die, they're dead. You can think about them, you can stroll down memory lane, but you can't no longer communicate with them. You could in your mind. They have none. Sorry about that. But that's the bottom line. I'm trying to explain to you. Moving on. Let me wrap this up. Again, I appreciate you tuning. I just want to get this out the way because I didn't agree with this concept. I want to get this out, but see, this is a viewpoint. I don't subscribe. I don't agree with it, but I understand it. Again, moving on. Where we at down here? Spiritism is what? Is a thought movement through it, though it results what? Largely is what? Psychic states of what? Mediumship. That means you got somebody telling you that he's talking to someone on the other side. Okay? It starts with what? Thoughts. Favorable to what? Spiritualistic practices. You got people who would play that mind game on you, ask you certain questions, see how you answer. It's all sham. It's a scam. Watch this. Now, such thoughts what? Confuse the mental atmosphere, however well intended one may be. The wish to become what? A medium often leads to what? Mediumship, which is this condition causes what? Grave injury to what? The breath form, aka the psychic, okay, and to the doer. Meaning you're gonna start having some issues internal. Otherwise, this, as well as to what? The physical body. Why? Because at present, the breath form is subject to the commands of nature, we function that way, and of the doer. Now, it is itself a guard for who? The doer, which is you, and the body against what? Here you go. The entrance of spooks, outer spiritual entities coming in. Do y'all? Okay, quick. I'm gonna do definitions. I got some definitions I want to break. You know what a succubus is? That's a female spirit who, when you sleep, have sex with you, enjoy your energy. An incubus is the male who does it with the female. Okay, so spooks. I don't subscribe to them, but that's what it is. Okay, let me wrap this up. So now when you the doer, what? Desires intercourse with them, it will what? When we at it will make the breath form subject what to them. They still they what they're saying, they draining energy. Okay, watch this. And itself what submits, and you yourself will submit to them. Quick, let me get this. This is gonna be quick. You seen the South Park with Chef and the broad came back. She was a succubus. They didn't know, but the kids knew. He didn't know, and they saved him from her. Okay, so they had a concept. They knew about that. But for those who aren't aware of that, you will fall prey to those kinds of situations. If you're weak-minded and ignorant of certain things, you will be a victim. Now, watch this. Now, in doing this, watch this. It surrenders what? To these astral things, aka the possessions of its breath form, and its astral. Again, astral meaning mental, it ain't physical, and other physical bodies. They get into the body, so to speak. And what? This is a grave matter. Why? Because the doer can usually regain to possession through what? Exorcism, but only after much suffering and by what? Driving out the intruder. The power of Christ compels you. Feel me? If you riding that train, pull the ripcord. Why? Get off. Moving on. I'm gonna wrap it up. Again, I appreciate you. And this, the doer will what? Seldom know how to do for himself. Why? Because the practice of mediumship often results in, you ready for this? Insanity. Yeah, if you think you communicate with the dead, come get the man in white jackets because he's insane. Hope you enjoyed the lesson. Spiritualism is a little different than spirituality. Trust me, big difference. Hope you enjoyed the lesson. I'm out. Thank you.